Daily grind, daily grind, daily grind, rock. Thursday and the grind, and hoping and bloom, but in the phone. Never I see. Yeah, welcome to the daily grind. I love Christmas songs. There's a lot of them, and I don't have to worry about what I'm going to sing. I am your host, Luke Hatmaker, and it's Thursday. Yeah, it's Thursday, so I've got Parrish and Rusty, both my guys with me. How we doing, y'all?
Good, man. The weeks went back quick. It's already Thursday.
Yeah, it really has. And I am just grateful this morning that I grew up in an era where I got to see Ja Morant violently dunk on people's heads, because apparently it's a thing of the past now.
Man, yeah. I think
that was kind of a hidden secret, because he really hadn't. You could tell this season he really times he would try to dunk on somebody, he would like squirt around and do a layup and stuff. It was kind of already. It was a secret.
even in that Dallas game where he had that breakaway where there was literally nobody within 30 feet of him, and he just did that little two-handed dunk. Like 3 years ago, he would have like tore the rim off. And so, yeah, the writing's been on the wall. He stated the quiet part out loud. And I'm a little hurt. I get it. I'd rather have 15 years of Ja than 5 years of massive dunks. I get it, but I'm grateful that I grew up in a time where I got to see it.
And to tell y'all the truth, like being around him since I've covered the Grizzlies, even last year, those few games he got to play, he would joke in the locker room, but like, I ain't got it no more. And he still got it, but he was saying that to kind of like, it was kind of him insinuating like, y'all not finna see me. I'm trying to stay healthy. I ain't better do that no more. He was already kind of insinuating it. I already knew it.
Which, I mean, if that's what he's doing, trying to stay healthy, I mean, who are we to complain? It's a bummer. I mean, we are almost fully healthy tonight. I mean, we will be playing Sacramento Kings tonight back at home. Parrish, you're going to be in the building, right? Right? Yep. Yeah, it's awesome. Our injury report gets shorter and shorter. I mean, it's just the three guys that have been on there. Yeah, slowly and surely it's getting smaller and smaller. We're going to talk about one of those guys coming back later, but looks like Sacramento is fully healthy as well. Fully healthy. They're not missing any of their normal guys. They're a weird team this year, though. I don't know. I don't really know what to make of them this year. They were a team that not that I was high on them, but I thought they would be performing better than they have been. Do you expect? I expect the Grizzlies to bounce back tonight. How about you, Parrish? What do you expect to see from this Grizzlies team tonight in their first game back after that loss against Dallas?
I would say I would expect another hopefully a closer type of game. The Grizzlies need more of those, obviously. We'll have another night in Dallas. So I do expect them to bounce back, but I don't expect it to be what last week was, and they won. Pretty much every game was essentially easy. I don't expect that. I think Sacramento, with their 10 and 12, they're still a competitive team. They're not like a bad team. The West Conference is the West Conference. I mean,
no doubt.
Everybody is like tight bunch, even teams under 500. You're 10 and 12. You're still not far away from being top 6, right? Probably 3 games out or something like this. So yeah, I expect it to be a tough battle, especially if they got the core of their team: De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, DeMar DeRozan, Demontis Sabonis. That's a formidable opponent that can get the Grizzlies to run for their money tonight.
Yeah, this is one of those teams that'll jump up and bite you if you're not careful, if you're not ready for them, because like you said, Parrish, they have a ton of talent. And so it's just a matter of time before they put it together. And Sabonis is a very unique NBA player in the way that he can get rebounds. Like, he's not going to be the guy. He can go get you 20, 25 points, but he's more likely going to get you 20, 25 rebounds. And we've been rebounding the ball exceptionally well, but it's been coming from some guards. Santi's been doing it a lot. I'm curious to see how we handle that in the post tonight, given his rebounding presence.
Yeah, that's honestly one shout out Wayno. I feel like I don't have the numbers in front of me. This feels like he might not be a first team all Grizz killer, but I'd put him second team. I feel like Sabonis normally goes like a really solid. Yeah.
He gets 20 rebounds.
He gets 20 rebounds.
At least.
That's what I was going to say. It may not be 20 points, but 20 rebounds. And it's really frustrating when you see a guy just routine. 20 rebounds is just hard to watch a dude get anyway. It's like, God, will somebody else go up there and get a damn rebound? But he gets it, and the potential is there for him to cook us. I still think that the way that Jaren has been playing this season, he seems to be able to dominate everybody. I mean, I would like, that's one thing that I'm looking forward to is the continued just to see Jaren, like how Jaren plays against Sabonis this go around as opposed to go rounds in the past, I'm really excited for.
As well as keeping him, I ain't gonna say, I guess engaged or whatever. So
Yes.
well, so it seemed like they switched. Like last week it was Josh first half, Jaren second half. Again, Dallas game it was Jaren first half with Josh second half. We need a mixture of both in each half, or at least the second half. Because Jaren had 14 and finished the game with 16.
Yeah.
And they kind of needed him to probably do something down the stretch of the game. So yeah, I'm interested for them to work on those things to make sure to get the big three going simultaneously at the same time.
Because the Kings have a really, really quick backcourt in, Monk, and De'Aaron Fox is one of the best ball handlers in the NBA. So this will be a good test for Ja too. And just his game has evolved so much this year on the offensive end as well as defensively. And so this will be a good test for him, keeping up De'Aaron Fox, who's real shifty, really quick. I was looking up Sabonis' stats. His last 4 against the Grizzlies, he's grabbed at least 18 rebounds and scored 20 and 25 points in the last 2. So he's been cooking us recently.
20. How many rebounds you say?
That'll be, he had, on the at the beginning of this year, January 2024, he had in 38 minutes, he had 20 points and 26 rebounds.
Jesus
Christ. I remember the game because
he absolutely bullied us.
They beat us by like 30 or something. They it was like, I think it was the first game of the new year.
It was
last game of late or something like that.
It was January 29th. It was one of the first, but the worst part was it was at home. He did that at the FedEx Forum. We have 26 rebounds on our head. Yeah.
God. So don't want to see that. That's
need a palate cleanser.
Yeah, palate cleanser from that. So you mentioned De'Aaron Fox. I like De'Aaron Fox a lot. I really enjoy his game. I'm assuming Jalen Wells is who. I mean, do you put Jalen Wells on him? And if so, what do you expect? I mean, Jalen Wells, we talked about this earlier this week, Parrish, Rusty and I. Jalen Wells' continued growth and just seamless fit into this team has just been on the light to watch this season. What do you expect out of him tonight?
First off, who's the King starting shooting guard? I know Malik Monk comes off the bench.
Is it Keegan Murray?
It's Keegan Murray.
He's power forward. I thought they pushed him up. He was power forward.
Kevin Herter plays some. Malik Monk. I think is it Herter?
Kevin Herter
starting? Kevin Herter is he
Kevin
starting?
Herter.
I think he has been.
My guy, my red rifle guy.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So in that case, Jalen Wells will probably get the. It depends. I can see him getting the De'Aaron Fox, but I know Ja Morant.
He likes it.
He's improving his defense, and him and De'Aaron Fox have had some battles in the past. So remember when Ja Morant had his great rookie year, but De'Aaron Fox always had the best of him because they were kind of similar players.
Yeah,
I can see Ja Morant saying, "I think they're gonna split. I think Jalen Wells gonna start on, but Ja Morant gonna take some of those reps guarding."
The way Ja has been playing defensively, that is exciting though. Like because Ja's always kind of had that that chip where he wants to go against similar players like him because he thinks he's the best because he is the best, But now that he has proven that he's just a better defensive player now, it's more exciting to see him kind of jaw with these guys. And I'm glad you said that, Parrish, because that's something that I hope that's a matchup that I'm excited for. Like just to see jaw with De'Aaron Fox has these new shoe commercials all over the place. I want Ja to take it personally, even though he really shouldn't. I love it.
Yeah. So the Sacramento Kings' most consistent starting lineup this year so far has been De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, DeMar DeRozan at the shooting forward, Keegan Murray at power forward, Domantas Sabonis at center. So that's what they've ran out most this year. Also, just a completely unbiased, unrelated topic. De'Aaron Fox is averaging 37 minutes. DeMar DeRozan, who's like 49, is averaging 36 minutes. Keegan Murray 36. Sabonis 36 minutes. Just for those keeping at home. I don't know what that's about.
So
what records they got in them?
Say again?
What records they got in them?
Yeah, 10 and 12. Very
Man, that's
very fair.
I mean, do we think? I mean, granted, the past week and a half, we have seen maybe not that kind of shrunken lineup, but I mean, we've seen the 5 starters and then Marcus and Santi all playing, like 22 minutes. I'm assuming we'll see more of that.
He's starting to rotate. He's starting to rotation.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Dallas game, they just wanted to foul their play.
Yeah,
good God, we don't have to talk about that one. I do want to talk about Marcus can't. I mean, it's going to be hard for Marcus to shoot as bad as he did on Tuesday because he didn't make a shot. I just expect him. I don't expect him to shoot like that again. He's not like he's not like Dylan Brooks, which I'm saying that about Dylan Brooks, who's playing really well this season. But in the past, Dylan would be guilty of doing this multiple games. I expect Marcus to bounce back. And I think you can look back, and it's not something you typically see of him, like stinkers like that. I will throw this up. Do we expect another? I mean, Desmond played really well on Tuesday. We know that oblique injury may or may not be lingering. Do you expect him to keep doing? I mean, do you expect him to keep building? I mean, people are saying he's in a slump. I don't. Whatever you want to say about that, I don't. I think he's dealing with an oblique injury, not in a slump. Do you expect him to? I mean, he's clearly getting healthier. Like, is that going to continue, or is he? I mean, it seems like with rest, it just seems like he's going to be back to himself in no time with this thing. Yeah, but I'm not a doctor.
Yeah, I think he'll be better. Honestly, with me, I don't even. It is a slump somewhat, but some of the games, it's like because of how the offense flow and when others get going, Desmond seems to go out here and take a back seat. Like, okay, we winning. Because you see, it was a couple games where he took 6 shots or 7 shots, and he went 3 for 7, 2 for 6. That's not necessarily struggling shooting. That's just I missed the first couple of my shots. This person has it going, so we finna feed. It was like he played within the team element. We win it by 20. There's no need for me to force it. So I think it's just with Dez, when we need him, that's when we, like against Dallas, he played pretty well until everybody can play well fourth quarter. He played well to the fourth quarter, right? So just kind of build on that, get his rhythm going, because we will need him to. We don't need him every single game to be 25, 20 points a game. But to that point, we just need him when we will truly need him. And tonight might be one of those matchups against the Sacramento team that has offensive firepower. So tonight, I'm hopeful that he will continue with, or at very least, he will continue taking more shots if it's asked of him, if the team needs him to.
What's been nice to see, too, is in the absence of his offense, Parrish, he is the #1 guard against 2-point percentage shots in the NBA. He's only given up 36% on 2-point shots. It's better than Reed Shepherd, Amon Thompson, Jaime Jaquez, like all these guys. Like, he is really stepping up his defense this year in a year where he has been in a slump for the majority of it. So, Luka, I do think that back is bugging him. It's hard to, when he tries to turn a corner and get downhill, you can just see he doesn't quite have that explosiveness that he used to. And he's always got heat on his back or the stem unit on his back, that kind of thing. But, this narrative that Desmond Bane is not doing anything to help us right now. We need to cut him. We need to trade him. $200 million is BS, because he is stepping up. We've got him and Ja both have really turned up their defensive game this year. And it's been impressive to see how they've stepped up in an area when they're struggling somewhere else.
No question. And it's funny because you know what I would consider growth? I feel like in the past, Dez would, forcing it. You can, there's nothing worse than forcing it when you're dealing with a lingering back issue, and if he was out there being like, oh crap, I got to be the one that goes, not being aware of okay, Jay Huff's got it going. Jake Laravia's got it going. Jalen Wells has it going. I only need to take 4 shots tonight. That's growth, because I do feel like in the past, Dez would have just gone in.
I would say that he did. We had asked him that question, I think, last home game. We talked to him about that a little bit. And it was just, he was saying it's refreshing that he doesn't have to force it, because in the past, he had to force it. You had Zaire Williams, David Roddy, and, whoever else. He kind of had to force it. It was different, too, so he had to force it in the past.
Yeah, no question. So moving off of tonight's game, I think the three of us here are all in the same boat about Dez. I think we're Team Dez. We don't want to get rid of him. This narrative that's been going around, would you make that trade? I wouldn't. Brandon Ingram for Bane, Parrish. I don't know what your thoughts. Yeah.
No.
I'm not trading one of my core 3 for a rental, because he's already said he's hunting a max deal. He doesn't care about competitiveness. He's trying to get paid. And so this narrative, I guess, was trying to push on the show yesterday about, if he wants to win championships, he doesn't. He wants to get paid. And we're not paying for a max deal.
And even with that, what has he won? Hey, Brandon Ingram is a really good player. We can use this going. That's not acting like that, but is he going to push us over the top?
Well, and you know what? He's good at scoring. You know who else is really good at scoring and someone who's coming back really soon? Gigi Jackson. We got the injury update, and I'm gonna read the exact language because one, I mean, anytime that I get one of these updates, it's always like, you know, I'm really worried, but this was all happiness. Gigi Jackson II continues to progress well and remains on schedule in his recovery from off-season surgery to prepare a blah, blah, blah. He is expected to return to play within 6 to 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. Rusty, you're my resident doctor friend. So that Grizzlies language feels like the most straightforward Grizzlies language we've gotten in a long time from them, where it's like, yeah, he's going to be back then.
Yeah. It's probably going to be late January, early February.
Okay.
Early February. And this is common with a fifth med head injury like he had, where he had surgery, because there's not a great blood supply to that area. You come back too soon, you're at a super high risk for re-injuring. And so this does not surprise. It didn't surprise me in the least. Honestly, it was good news for me because, like, you know, we've seen guys miss entire seasons with foot injuries, right? You get a Liz Frank, you get a fifth med head fracture like this, like they're done for the year. So the fact that I guess it pays to be 20, 21 years old. But I think that this is good news. Right.
I don't even think he's 20 yet.
No, he ain't even 20. You're right. Yeah. So it pays to be young. He's still made of rubber. He'll bounce back quickly. And I think this is good. I think this is good news.
I'm very happy to hear this. I don't know if this Daniel Greer says this. I just taking shots. Zion taking shots. Mm-hmm. Smart and BC for BI. It's just not something I'm interested in. We're talking. There's no package that you can build that I have found on the trade machine for. I just don't want Brandon Ingram. Simple as that.
Brandon Ingram is he's a ball stop. Like, he is one that, like, when the ball gets to him, it's over. And in this offense where everybody eats, he doesn't fit that offense. Yes, he's a great shooter. Yes, he's a great player. But we've got a great core going right now, a great team chemistry. You can see it even in the losses, even things that we're not doing well. We still play together. I feel like BI is going to change that dynamic. I think that, again, he's just such a ball stop that I don't know that he fits in this offense.
Now, I would say for BC and Smart, you have to think about that. And here's the reason why. Although I know the fouls stopped the Grizzlies offense, the fouls, it just slowed the pace and they just couldn't do no offense. But the half-court offense is still a problem. And that's just one game, and like I said, you fouled every possession on defense. You're out of rhythm anyway. Yeah. But on Brandon Ingram in the close games, half-court setting, you got somebody to get the ball to outside of job that can get you that can get you a bucket. So that's why you have to consider. I wouldn't consider trading him for Bane straight up, but for something like that where you can put him with the big three, that's different, especially in a close game scenario. That's a player that you can get.
So you're fine with him if he is your fourth or fifth option, not in your big three option.
Essentially, he probably would be 3 and Bang before in that case. But either way, you're gonna have you're gonna have some type of the big four. You're gonna have a big four.
Yeah, my big thing is Brandon Ingram okay with that being the fourth, fourth option on a team? And I don't.
Yeah, that's what I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he would actually be the fourth in that case.
He's gonna see himself as like John 0.1, right? Like he's gonna try and take all the shots away from John Jaren. And for me, it makes me nervous, man. And again, it's a rental, so like you're giving up Marcus and Brandon Clark, who's on a bounce back. Brandon Clark is definitely on the come up, and you're giving up guys for a rental for somebody who's going to be with us for 1 year. And then, like, if it's one of those things where it's like, you got to pay Jaren, and I would much rather pay Jaren than I would Brandon Ingram. And it's, is the juice worth the squeeze at that point?
Right. Is the juice. I've never heard that. I love that. Okay. Yeah. We'll let you get out of here, Parrish. Thanks for hopping on here, brother. Go get warm. I'm
already warm, man.
I'm saying I hope you don't go.
That jacket looks nice, man. I like that.
Right. I'm good. This is a coat. This is a couple of This is good.
Yeah. You have a good one, brother. We'll see you on Monday.
All right, y'all.
See you, brother.
See you, Parrish.
All right. So,
hang on real quick, just for the record, though, he talked about the Kings, and I want to say this before he jumped off, but he had to go. He talked about the Kings, and not working out real well for them when they have playing a ton of minutes. The Thunder starting five are all averaging over 29.5 minutes, including SGA at 34.3, and they're in first place in the West. So it looks like playing your stars does work out. But anyway, I digress.
Oh man, we're doing tangents really quick. This is appreciated. I almost texted you. I almost texted you this morning. I was reading an article. It was on the Ringer. Shout out them. I love their stuff.
Yeah, too.
Jake LaRavio is listed as an omission, as like an honorable mention for 6th man of the year, and I was tickled pink. I was like,
can Gigi hurry up and come back so this narrative that Jake is this phenomenal NBA player can go away? Because he's fine. He's fine. He's been a good spot player, but like when Gigi's healthy, ain't gonna be no room for him.
Look, I think we could get if we got oh gosh, like we could get Jake LaRavia in here himself and be like, "Are you a 6th man of the year candidate?" And he would laugh. He would laugh at us.
Like, he's like, "I just do the little things well, man. That's all I do."
I did really well. But we're not talking. This isn't a Jake LaRavia conversation. You sent me a stat last night.
Yeah.
And I loved this because this really is quite telling. I think that this
damning, if you will.
Damning. Yes, it's a damning stat. It's a tale of 4 very different quarters if you're a Grizzlies fans. And this is from our guy, Sean Coleman. That's at Stats SAC over on the Twitter. Statty Sean, these are awesome. I'll let you read them because you sent them. I'll give you you found them.
Well, so Grizz point differential and where it ranks in the NBA by game segment this season. So by quarter and including clutch situations. And this is the one that hurt my feelings the most because like we've talked about making adjustments in the game. We've talked about figuring things out. And this does not reflect well on Taylor Jenkins. So if you're a Taylor Jenkins purist, grab your security blanket or pillow. You might need this.
This is
tough.
tough.
The first quarter, we're plus 62.6 in the NBA. In the second quarter, we make adjustments and we're plus 99, which is the first in the NBA. What a turnaround from first to second quarter. In the third quarter, we're plus 62. You know, we've struggled historically in third quarters, right? Luke, I got bad news. NBA games are not 3 quarters. They're called quarters for a reason.
What?
4 of them. And in the fourth quarter, we go from a plus 62 in the third quarter to a minus 46, 25th in the NBA. And in clutch situations, meaning less than 8 minutes with a point differential of 5 points or less is what they call clutch situations. So it doesn't count garbage time. We are a net negative 18, 25th in the NBA. It's just like we're running out of gas as we go.
That's so not
that hurts my feelings.
It's not what you want to see, man. Like you want to talk about making adjustments way too late. That is what that stat is. And that's even more frustrating because that stat signals a coach that understands and is capable of making the adjustments as evidenced by that first half. But when the second half starts slipping away, what happened? Oh man, the clutch one in particular is really frustrating to read.
Yeah, so maybe the fourth does include some blowouts. We've been losing by 15 or more, but like the clutch situations, that's tough. To me, that's a sign of a team and a coach that gets swallowed up by the moments. It's not all on Taylor Jenkins. It's not. We get frustrated when we're watching and our best players are not playing while the other team's best players are playing. There was a ton of more minutes where Luka and Kyrie were on the floor the other night, where we only had one of our big 3 on the floor. But those clutch situations are what hurts, man, because that is a team and a coach swallowed up by big moments. The other night, we're going to talk about this today on the 2 Buck Sports Show. Tune in live at noon today. But we've had 2 games that have had playoff feels already this season. The Golden State Warriors game and then the Dallas Mavericks game the other night. And what happened in both of them? A, we lost. B, there was a bit of a collapse. The Warriors, it was for 3 quarters. We made a valiant run at the end because, shocker, we put our best 5 players in. But the Mavericks was the other way around. We kind of collapsed at the end, and in clutch situations, we didn't play very well.
Yeah. Shout out DG. We have got to fix the half court off.
That's absolutely right.
It's the one thing. Parrish even mentioned it earlier before he left. It's the one thing that these clutch situations, when the game slows down, when the pace slows down, we just don't know what to do, and we don't know how to adjust.
Because we've been doing this for 3-4 years. We've sucked in the half court, and we brought in this new offense to fix it, and it's not any different. It makes me nervous that this, I think DG said this on the show in the comments the other day. Makes me nervous is this is really a playoff type offense because what we've seen so far in playoff experience, playoff caliber games. We've seen Taylor Jenkins revert back to analytics and not making great decisions, and our half court offense sucking. And I think Zach Edey will fix a lot of that. We got some great news about him. Allegedly, he's coming back later this week, which we, just in time for the Boston game. But we need some half court offense, and I think Edey can help with that, because what we've seen so far is not good. Way too many, like I said on Twitter yesterday, Marcus Smart is taking way too many threes, period, early in the shot clock. Like, there's how many times have we seen a semi-transition or 19 seconds on the shot clock and Marcus Smart hucking up a three? Like, this half-court offense has been miserable.
Yep. And we might have a whole episode on the half-court offense, because it is something that we need to spend more time talking on. Edey is definitely going to fix that.
Going to help with it. He's got some growing to do too. He's going to help with it. And the other thing is, our defense has been struggling. Luke, this is the other stat that I sent you, and I'd love to get your take on this. With what we've seen some good defense from John, Jalen, and Dez and Tripp, but where the Grizzlies rank in defensive rating by quarter. In the first quarter, we're 6th among NBA teams. In the second quarter, we're 2nd. Play really well in that second quarter, man. 6th in the third quarter. We're actually playing well in third quarter, something we've historically always struggled with. We're 27th in the fourth quarter, and we are 29th in clutch situations. You take a guess at the only team worse than us at defense in clutch situations.
And you know what? I'm only saying this because they didn't win a game in November. The Washington Wizards.
Yeah, man. Like, I guess is already clamoring for Kuzma over here. They're the worst team in clutch situations. The only team worse than the Grizzlies in clutch situations.
That's not company that you really want to be. It's not when you're aiming for a championship.
Allen's not wrong. Outside of the Dallas game, a lot of these clutch issues have been coming without our best players. A, due to injury. B, to Taylor Jenkins' innate core desire to play Jake LaRavia in like a State Farm lineup where you've got Jake LaRavia, Santi Aldama, Jay Huff. Like the other night, we ran on an offense or a lineup that had Jay Huff, Santi, Jake, Pip, and Marcus Smart. Like, who's going to score? Like, who in that lineup is going to score? And that was in the fourth quarter, less than 10 minutes to go. And it's like, my brother in Christ, you've got 3 all-star caliber players over here, but I digress. I'm not going to do that. But we're just not good in clutch situations,
man. And we'll see if that gets better. The Grizzlies will need it to get better if they want to seriously contend this season, because there are going to be close games against teams like the Rockets, against teams like the Thunder, and you better hope you can pull those games out of your behind.
Yeah, man. And look, like, I'm not getting too high, too low off this Dallas game. Don't hear what I'm not saying. Like, we're fine. We're a good basketball team. We struggled in a big moment. We've got plenty more to come. We got the Kings tonight. Not a great playoff kind of atmosphere, but in the course of the next 2 weeks, we've got Boston, we've got the Lakers, we've got the Warriors, we got the Clippers on the 23rd. Like, we've got some games coming up. We'll be able to test our playoff chops.
Yeah, no question. It's just like, oh, come on. We want to see better. We expect better because we watched this team for a long time. We are better. Bingo. Well said. Let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to play It's a Trap. I didn't tell you what it's about this time. And I'm excited. It's winter themed. And I linked it to something we talked about yesterday. Hint, hint, hint. But we will play a round of It's a Trap right after this quick break.
I think Zach Edey played well. He got his fouls in. He got him in for sure. But we saw some flashes of really what he can do. Whether that's setting screens or just whether blocking shots or just making guys change their mind about shots. So just affecting the quality of shots that guys were getting in the game. We saw that a lot. They gotta use him though, man. They gotta be able to find him a little bit.
I was about to say they especially the whole first quarter. It was like, because I think that lob that y'all had him, that was his first points of the game. So it was like the whole first quarter, I did peep that. It was like, I see everybody else attempting 5+ shots.
Right.
Y'all got to find a way to give Zach Edey something, like at some point. Everything was running well last night, right? The offense was flowing well. It's going to come a stretch of time where they're going to be stagnant. And at that time, that's when I expect them, okay, hey, let's run the post play to Zach Edey.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
This is a question I don't know if you've ever been asked. Was there anyone you ever wanted to dunk on? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm glad you haven't getting a big kick out of that one. I'm glad you've been waiting all day for that. Just waiting all day to get that little jokey joke in. Oh, you got a joke. Yeah. But yeah, I always wanted to dunk in the game. That's what I wanted to do. And it didn't have to be on anybody. I wanted it to be off of a missed shot, like on an offensive rebound, so that everyone's around or in the vicinity when it happened.
Did you ever dunk in practice and get overly excited?
Yes. and everybody be like, well, are you going to do it in a game? I'm like, no.
Tune in to the Night Court podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Daily Grind. Look, I don't make the commercials.
We play what we're given.
You coming at me? I have one video. You could put the entire video of Saving Private Ryan right there, and I would click play, and I would let it play, and can I? Anyway, you can catch all those shows. We have more shows than that, but you can catch the Night Court podcast. You can catch the Anthony Sane Show. That's on Wednesdays and Fridays at noon. You can catch the $2 Sports Show with my guy Rusty and Uncle Buck. That's Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon live. That will be today. That's Thursday. We discussed that. We've got no bluffing on Mondays. Typically, we got the Grizz Grizz live 901 post game show. Yeah. That's every weekday after the game.
It's always a great palace cleanser, one way or the other, too, because DG does a good job of bringing us back up after a loss, bringing us back to kind of a put in perspective on a win. He's a great even keel, stabilizing force in this franchise. So shout out DG.
Shout out DG. Even if he's coming at me, put my commercials, DJ. You holding out on me? Put the commercials up here.
Yeah, if you've got a commercial load it in the $2 Sports Show, and I'll play it. Dad, burn it.
Think you're better than me. Anyway, catch all this over at Bluff City. What does Nate do?
He brings the comedic relief and helps also put in perspective these people who are trying to say Jake LaRavia is an all NBA player.
Man, Nate taking shots. I love it.
I love Nate. Nate's a great guy, man. He does a great job. But DJ's in the comments. It's still 2 a.m. in Salt Lake, so he's probably still asleep.
That's true. You can catch all this bluffcitymedia.co. We may not have a new commercial, but I got a banner. But back to our show. On this show, on Thursdays, we have a little fun. We play a game in honor of Real Admiral Akbar from the Rebel Alliance in Star Wars. My guy. He's not real. But RIP. He not a fan of traps, but we play a game where I give a guest a series of questions. Trivia questions about a selected topic. Today's topic will be ice hockey, specifically in the United States.
Let's go.
Because you told me you were a hockey guy, and I was like, of course. So that's going to be the topic. I will give you a series of questions. Half of them are real, half of them are fake. It's not your job to answer correctly. It's just your job to say if it's a trap or not. Are you ready?
Hang on. I got to put my thinking cap on. I thought I turned this around. But we got to put a thinking cap on.
Let's
go.
It's so good. Okay. All right. First question. Which U.S. city hosted the Miracle on Ice during the 1980 Winter Olympics?
Ooh, yes. That was in Lake Placid, New York, right?
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
I know my American history.
I love it. Love it. All right. Next question. Who was the first American-born player inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame?
Yes, but I don't know.
You're good. It was Frank Brimsick in 1966.
Oh, I was so close. Frank Broomstick. I should have known that.
You were close. Next question. Thomas Zamboni invented the modern Zamboni in what year?
It's a trap.
It is a trap.
I always get this shudder, and I know something's coming. It's like,
well, I wrote Thomas Zamboni down, and it's like, if the creator of the Zamboni is watching, let us know in the comments, and I'll get your name right. Next question. Which U.S. state was the first to implement ice hockey as an official high school sport in the state of California?
It's a trap.
Yeah, it was Minnesota that did it. Not California. I think they
That
do
tracks.
straight. I think, I don't think they have much ice. All right, next question. What year was the NHL established in the United States?
Yes, but I don't know.
Kind of older than I expected. 1924.
Well, how about that? My NHL fandom really kind of bloomed with the Nashville Predators. Like that's kind of when I started following. Go Preds.
Go Preds. I know the voice of the Preds. Personal friend of mine, Paul.
Oh, nice, dude.
I know. No,
that's cool, man. There's nothing more fun than a professional hockey game. So there's that too.
100. Like professional hockey games are a blast. You don't have to know. Dudes fighting. We can do a whole episode.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Shelby gets it.
Shelby's like, hey, I'm all in. Let's go.
I love it. All right. Next question. What was the name of the first American women's professional hockey league founded in 1950?
It's a trap.
It's a trap. That league never existed. It's way too old for women's hockey. It's way ahead of their time. It's a trap. I would watch it though. Next question. Which team became the first US-based NHL franchise to win the Stanley Cup?
Ooh, yes. I'm gonna try. Boston Bruins.
That's the first team ever. The New York Rangers was the first team to win the cup, though. But they were the first American team, were the Bruins. So
there it is. I knew it was one of those. It had to be the Rangers, Bruins. They've been around a while. Yeah. Close
enough. All right, we got 3 more questions left. What U.S. city was home to the Great Lakes Cup, where all 5 Great Lakes were frozen and they played hockey on all 5 of them?
It ain't Memphis, Tennessee, so it's a trap.
It is a trap. Man, can you imagine how cold it would be for the Great Lakes to freeze over? It's like day after tomorrow. We'd be out of here.
Listen, I lived in Maine for a year in high school, and that was cold, but it has to be a lot colder than that.
A lot colder than that. All right. What is the name of the amateur hockey tournament held annually in Minnesota, known for showcasing young talent?
It's a trap.
No, that one's real.
I got one wrong. No.
That's okay. You're still doing better than Uncle Buck.
Hey, I'll take that.
All right. Last question. Which American hockey team named... Damn it. What year did the Pittsburgh Steelers win the Great Depression Classic?
Well, outside of 1932, I'm going to guess it's a trap.
That's a trap. You got me. I got really. It's not fair. That's gonna do it for. It's a trap, man. I'm not gonna subtract points for you because
thank you.
You did really well and you got some right. You laughed at my Zamboni question, so I'll take it.
I think the guy's name was actually Zam, first name last Boney. Is that not right? I just made that up. I don't know.
I was like, it's a trap. It's a trap. Bonus question. I was like, Tom. I was like, Zamboni. Oh my God. I feel bad for the Zamboni guy. This episode goes out to the Zamboni guy. That is going to do it for our show today, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for playing in the comments. We had a lot. Rusty almost messed up your bets this morning. You gotta be dialed in, man. You gotta be dialed in. You know what? We got something for you before I leave too. We're going to give you a commercial real quick. We're going to take one quick break. You're going to take a quick break because you asked and we demanded. Give me 14 seconds.
Tune in to the $2 Sports Show with Rusty Witten and Drew Gann every Tuesday and Thursday live at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Man.
I love it. Catch that live today at noon, y'all.
Hey.
We will be back tomorrow. Everybody have a good day. And if I can leave you with anything, remember to be a little weird and remember to smile. See you guys. Have a good day today.